Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the most essential, most powerful tools in all of SQL, the join. Seriously, if you think of your data as a giant puzzle scattered across a bunch of different boxes, joins are the magic that lets you put all those pieces together to finally see the whole picture. So let's jump right in.
So picture this. You've got your data, but it's not in one big neat pile. It's split up. You have all your customer info in one table, all their orders in another, and maybe all the product details in a third. Separately, they're useful, but limited. So how do you connect them to get the full story? And that is the exact problem we're going to solve today. To solve this puzzle, we first have to ask a pretty important question. Why are the pieces even separated in the first place? Why isn't it all just in one giant table?
Well, it turns out this separation is completely intentional. There's a core database design principle called normalization, and the whole point is to keep your data clean, efficient, and reliable. Think about it. You don't want to repeat a customer's entire address with every single order they make. That's a recipe for errors and wasted space. So you store it once. It's a smart system, but it's what creates our puzzle.
And here it is, the hero of our story, the join clause. It's the magic glue for our data puzzle. It's the command you give to SQL that says, hey, for the next few moments, let's connect these separate tables and pretend they're one big happy family. It's how we see the whole picture.
But, glue is pretty useless without instructions on where to apply it, right? That's what the on clause is for. This is the absolute golden rule of any join. It gives the database super precise instructions. It's you telling it, connect this row from the customers table to that row in the orders table using the customer ID. Without it, the connection is meaningless.
Okay, now that we've got the basic concept down, let's pop open our toolkit. We're going to look at the 4 fundamental types of joins that you will use over and over again. These are your bread and butter.
First up, the inner join. This is your workhorse. It's the most common join you'll probably ever write. The easiest way to think about it is like a Venn diagram. You've got 2 circles. The inner join only gives you that little bit of overlap in the middle, the rows that have a perfect match in both tables. So if you join customers to orders, you'll only get customers who have actually placed an order. No match, no entry.
But what if you don't just want the perfect matches? That's where the left join comes in. This one has a different attitude. It says, listen, give me everything from that first or left table. I don't care if it has a match in the second one or not. If it does find a match, great, it'll connect them. But if it doesn't, it still keeps the row from the left table and just puts a blank or a null in the spots for the right table's data.
Now, a right join is pretty much the exact mirror image of a left join. It keeps everything from the second or right table instead of the first. But here's a little pro tip for you. Most experienced developers tend to just stick with left joins. Why? For consistency. You can get the exact same result as a right join just by swapping the order of your tables and using a left join instead. It makes the code way easier for other people to read and understand down the line. Okay, but what if you're feeling greedy? What if you want absolutely everything? Every row from the left table and every row from the right table, whether they have a match or not. For that, you've got the full outer join. This is basically the give me the whole shebang option. It combines the logic of both a left and a right join, matching up what it can and just filling in the rest with those blank null values.
All right, enough theory. Let's get our hands dirty and see how this toolkit solves a super common, very practical business problem. This is where it gets really powerful.
So picture this. Your boss walks up to your desk and asks for a list of every customer you have who has never, ever bought a single thing. An inner join is useless here, right? Because it only shows you customers who do have orders. So how do you find the ones who don't?
The solution is just so elegant. And it is the perfect showcase for the power of a left join. It's a simple 2-step dance. Step 1, you do a left join from your customers table to your orders table. That guarantees every single customer is in your result set. Then, step 2, you add one little line, a where clause that says only show me the rows where the order ID is null. And boom, that's it. You've just isolated the exact list you need. It's beautiful, right?
Okay, you've got the fundamentals down, you've seen a practical example, now let's level up. We're going to look at a couple of advanced techniques for solving some even trickier data puzzles.
First up is the self-join, and this one is pretty clever. You use it when the relationships you're looking for exist inside a single table.
A classic example is an employee table. We have an employee and a column for their manager ID, which points right back to another employee in the same table. To query this, you join the table to itself, giving it a couple of temporary nicknames so you can treat it like two separate tables to find who reports to whom.
Next is the cross join. And look, this one needs a big flashing warning sign. It doesn't use an on clause. Instead, it creates what's called a Cartesian product. It just matches every single row from the first table with every single row from the second. So if you have a table with 1,000 products and another with 100 store locations, a cross join gives you 100,000 rows, just like that. It's great for generating all possible combinations, but it can absolutely bring a system to its knees if you're not careful. And speaking of warnings, let's talk about one more crucial piece of advice. This is about keeping your queries safe, predictable, and easy to maintain. There's a shortcut out there that might seem tempting, but it's loaded with hidden dangers.
Just read that. It's pretty blunt, isn't it? A natural join is a feature that tries to be helpful by automatically joining tables on any columns that happen to have the same name. It sounds convenient, sure, but as this quote makes clear, it is considered a huge no-no in most professional settings.
So why all the hate? Well, for starters, it completely hides the logic. You can't see what columns it's joining on, which makes debugging a nightmare. But worse, it's a ticking time bomb. Let's say months from now, someone adds a new column to one of your tables that just happens to have a matching name, your query could suddenly break, or even worse, it could silently start returning the wrong data. The takeaway is simple. Always, always be explicit. Use an on clause. It keeps you in control and your code safe.
And there you have it. That's our tour of SQL joins. They are the absolute key to connecting all those separate pieces of your data puzzle. Once you master inner, left, self, and even cross joins, and just as importantly, you know what to avoid, you unlock this incredible ability to ask much, much deeper questions. So, the only question left is, what hidden stories are waiting in your data for you to uncover?